Meanwhile, France is hosting a high-level meeting on Libya. The aim of the gathering is to ensure diplomatic unity between all those involved with Libya to promote national reconciliation. Governments that have been playing a key role in the Libyan crisis will attend. Egypt, Turkey and the Gulf states are among countries who have been invited, as well as a UN Special Envoy to Libya, Martin Kobler, and U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. At least one member of Libya's presidency, of the Libyan Presidency Council, is also expected. Let's get you more now on that story. And I'm joined live from Cairo by CCTV's Zias Hakim. Also joining us is Jack Parrock live from Brussels. Jack, to you first though, what will European Union countries be looking to achieve at this meeting on Libya?
Well, Europe has essentially consistently backed this government of national accord, this unity government, and they're basically going to try and support them and persuade that all the other players in that room, in this meeting in France, to try and get behind this unity government. The EU countries believe that that is the way forward for peace. Now, interestingly, also what they'll have in that room with them is an Egyptian official. And obviously Egypt has been a complicated player and not always towed the same line on Libya as the European Union countries have. Many of the EU countries condemned General Haftar's attack essentially on some of the oil fields in Libya, and they'll want us, but the Egyptian foreign minister supported him in that. So they will look to try and find some kind of common ground or some way forward with regards to these sort of actions that perhaps Egypt are supporting against the European countries. But obviously in the mix of all this, Europe is trying to cooperate with Libya on the refugee and migration crisis, with many people leaving the Libyan coastline to enter Europe as part of that crisis.
Well, yes, as Jack has mentioned, Egypt and the European Union do not always agree on international efforts to end the crisis in Libya. What stance will Cairo be taking, though, at this meeting?
Yes, I guess this meeting is made so that they can try to find some kind of agreement. And like Jack was saying, Egypt supports Khalifa Haftar and the Tobruk parliament. What they want in a new agreement is that they would have more powers or more say in the new unity government that should be formed anytime soon. They want Khalifa Haftar to be part of this group as a Minister of Defense, and they do not agree with the forces or the army of Fayez Sarraj and the National Council, the Presidential Council. They feel that there are several Islamist-backed militias included in this force, which Egypt kind of does not agree with. And they don't want Islamist forces to have the upper hand in any army or leadership in Libya. And that's why Egypt is standing against any deal that is currently taking place. They want more presence and more say with the Tobruk government, which is internationally recognized government, as well as its national army, which is led by Khalifa Haftar.
Well, back to you, Jack, though. Libya is the most used point now of departure of migrants and refugees. What proposals are we likely to see coming out of this meeting in terms of stemming that flow?
Well, it's a very difficult situation for the European Union at the moment with regards to this. It's understood that somewhere between 700,000 and 1 million displaced people are in Libya at the moment, trying to get to Europe on flimsy boats. And the way that the European Union sees that they should be tackling it is by getting stability in Libya, essentially, so that the Libyan government can fight the people smuggling gangs that are operating off the Libyan coast. 3,000 people are dead in the sea, and also we know that nearly 300,000 people have made it to Europe across the Mediterranean on this route already this year. It's important to remember that with the exception of France, who has diplomatically a different relationship with Libya historically, the rest of the European Union figures, for them, the migration crisis is absolutely of paramount political importance in their own countries in the European Union. So while they want stability in Libya, there's definitely the reason of trying to deal with the migration crisis for wanting to get that stability in place.
Well, finally, Yasser, though, apart from Egypt, countries from the wider Arab world have also been invited to this meeting. How will Egypt likely try and get their support when it comes to Libya?
Well, it has the support of one player, which is the United Arab Emirates. But on the other hand, there's Qatar. Obviously, United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, but the UAE has been more involved than Saudi Arabia in the Libyan issue. Then you have another country, which is Qatar, and that has taken the opposite view of Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. And I think this is where the contradiction will take place, and whether Qatar will be able to support the Egyptian stance, I doubt, because already there are differences between Egypt and Qatar concerning, for example, the Muslim Brotherhood, which is outlawed in Egypt, and its leaders have taken refuge in Qatar, and Egypt has been calling on Qatar to hand them over, and Qatar has refused. So that's another issue, but will influence the talks there, especially that Egypt accuses Qatar of supporting the Islamists in Libya. So this will be a bit tricky during the meetings. Will they be able to overcome this problem or not? We'll see in the next few hours or maybe a couple of days. But it has been tricky. It has been very hard to solve this issue in the last few months. Those two countries do have their own influences within the political parties in Libya. And if they can get an agreement, this will go a long way in finding a unity within the Libyan political forces. If not, then we expect more divisions in the next, as we go in the future, and not a clear resolving of the issue.
Right, Yasser Hakim for us there in Cairo, and Jack Parrock in Brussels.